Good morning everyone, and we wishing you all a pleasant day. In this video, we are going to see the 15th February episode of Civilspedia's Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar AS Academy. And before we skip to the main content, kindly ensure your subscription to the channel if you haven't done it yet. Because your each subscription means a lot to us and a constant support, encouragement and motivation for us to do even better every day. And a short announcement that batch 2 of pre-fit test series is about to start from 20th February onwards. And this will be an UPSC Prelims daily test series consist of 54 tests. So kindly register using the number which is available in this slide or using the registration link which is available in our website. It will be an effective tool to crack the UPSC Prelims of 2026. So why this pre-fit test series is more effective? Because of its reflection. In the UPSC Prelims of 2025, around 31 questions has been reflected from the pre-fit test series of that year. And in the 31 questions, 20 questions has been directly reflected from this test series and around 11 questions has been partially reflected from this test series. So it will be considered as an effective and valuable tool to crack the UPSC Prelims of 2026. So please do register and get benefited using this test series. And moving to the topic for today's discussion, first topic is about Kalka-Shimla Railway and why it is in use. And the second topic is about Pangolin Conservation and the community behind it. And the third topic is about Substantive Motion as well as Privilege Motion as a parliamentary tool. And the fourth topic is about labor codes, the new labor codes and what's the take behind it. And the fifth topic is Prelims Focus, where we discuss important topics from Prelims point of view. And the first news article for today is taken from the Indian Express and it is about Kalka-Shimla Railway. Why it is in news? Let's decode. So about the news, the Northern Railway has introduced the first rake of narrow gauge coaches. So this narrow gauge coaches can be seen very rarely in the Indian context or the Indian railways as of now, because it can be either changed or either modified to meter gauge or broad gauge, mostly of broad gauge. And this narrow gauge coaches will be equipped with the indigenously developed air brake system, which is also an additional feature in the historic line of Kalka to Shimla rail line, which is an UNESCO's World Heritage Site. So what is the significance behind this news? The stretch of Kalka to Shimla rail line runs through the Himalayan mountainous terrains. So it having a very steep gradients, and as it runs along the Himalayan mountains, it will have sharp Himalayan curves, and it also runs along the difficult mountainous terrains of Himalayas. And it has been accorded with the UNESCO's World Heritage Site in the year of 2008 under the Mountain Railways of India. Mountain Railways of India. Apart from this Kalka-Shimla stretch of rail line, two other rail stretches has been accorded with the UNESCO's World Heritage Site. First is Darjeeling Himalayan Railways. Second is the Nilgiris Mountain Railways. So these two has been accorded with the UNESCO's World Heritage Site under the Mountain Railways of India. And why it is more significant is that this stretch has been equipped or changed the traditional braking system using the vacuum brakes had the specific limitation in such terrains. But now it has been modified and changed and introduced the new air brake systems which improves the safety and control and efficiency. So the traditional vacuum braking system has been changed to the indigenously developed air brake system within the Indian Railways to this stretch, which will improve the safety, control and efficiency. So this about this braking system, the vacuum braking system uses very meager amount of air pressure. So it will not be function efficiently in the steep terrains or the steep gradients in the mountainous terrains. But this air brake system will uses heavy pressure using the compressor within the engine. So it will work efficiently and also applies the pressure equally across the brakes. So it will help to efficiently control the speed in the mountainous terrains. So we can see the sharp curves as it runs along the mountainous terrains of Himalayas. This will be the train stretch from the Kalka to Shimla. And we also can see the rake or the bogies that has been developed for this rail stretch under narrow gauge. So what is the key feature? That it promotes in-house development as indigenization. It is designed and integrated locally, which supports the local workers as well as employment over the region. And it also reflects the Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliance India initiative. And it also enhances the safety. This air brake system will enhance the safety of the railway stretch by modifying bogies and upgraded trolleys has been equipped with the air brake system, and it designed to meet the strict safety standards for mountainous terrains. And we also have to note this stretch of Kalka to Shimla as a longest railway tunnel at I think Bogas or Bogat, which is having a stretch from around 1144 meters, which is considered to be one of the longest railway tunnel. But the longest railway tunnel is in Uttarakhand. If you know the name of the tunnel, please mention it in the comment section, because it stretches along 12.57 kilometers. The longest railway tunnel in India stretches from for about 12.57 kilometers. If you know the name, the tunnel in Uttarakhand, please mention it in the comment section. And I note that this will be the longest tunnel in this stretch. And with respect to the operational efficiency, it improves the braking capability of the train. It also provides better control and compared to the older vacuum brake system. And it also ensures smoother and safer ride experience for the tourists. So moving to the question with reference to Kalka-Shimla Railway, consider the following statements. First statement, it is a narrow gauge railway line built during British period to connect the summer capital with the plains. Second statement, it is included in the UNESCO's World Heritage list as a part of the mountain railways of India. Third, the railway line connects Kalka in Himachal Pradesh with Shimla in Haryana. Which of the statements given above are correct? And we can infer that in the third statement it is incorrect, because the Shimla is not in Haryana. So we can eliminate the third statement and we left with only option A and option B. And option B will be the correct answer because first and second was correct. Let's check. Yes. With this, we move to the next topic. Nagaland tribe resolved to protect pangolins. This news article is taken from The Hindu and it is about the conservation of pangolins and also the community which steps in to protect and conserve the species. Let's discuss in detail. So about the news, the Sangtam community, which is a major Naga tribes of the Nagaland region, has passed a formal resolution to protect and conserve the pangolin species within their jurisdiction. And this is significant because the pangolins are considered as the world's most trafficked mammals. So it is noted here that these pangolins are mammals which give birth to offsprings and they feed their offspring with milk. So these pangolins are hunted down majorly for their scales and meats, because it is believed to be associated with the traditional medicine and having traditional medicine values. And about the resolution passed by the Sangtam community for the conservation and protection of the pangolins, it is a part of countering pangolin trafficking project which is led by Wildlife Trust of India. and it is also supported by the Wildlife Conservation Network's Pangolin Crisis Fund. And this project was initially begun in Manipur in 2023, but later it got extended and expanded to the Nagaland region. And this focuses on the protection of two pangolin species, such as Indian pangolin or Manis crassicaudata and Chinese pangolins, that is Manis pentadactyla. And here we can see the clear image of the Sangtam community people or the Naga tribes. And about the Sangtam community, they are the major Naga tribes living mainly in Kiffer and Sonsang districts of eastern Nagaland. So they are the part of eastern Nagaland territory or the eastern Nagaland region. And their culture blends with traditional animism. They worship or they follow or believe the nature along with the Christianity. And it is believed that their origin from the oral history, the traces of this Sanctum community has been a migrated people or the migrated community from the Mongolia through either China and Myanmar. And Sanctum, the term Sanctum comes from the term of Sangdang, which means raised ancestral platform. So these are all important facts. And the language they speak, it is known as Sangtam U, which is spoken by majority of the people of this Sangtam community. So this is also an important fact because the Nagaland region, the people, majority of the Nagaland people will speak English, but this Sangtam community specifically speak the language of Sangtam U, which is by the majority of the Sangtam U community people. And their livelihood majorly depends upon the jum cultivation or shifting cultivation or slash and burn cultivation. And their cultivation was majorly focuses or majorly they cultivate the crops such as rice, maize and millet. And their community also has separate clans. What are the clans? They are Dongru, Jingru, and Langti Dongru, and Mungzaru, and Anaru, and Ruddi Dongaru. So, what are the major festivals which will be very important for our UPSC prelims? What are the major festivals celebrated by this Sangtam community? First is the Mong Mong, which is celebrated by these people on September, which is a harvest festival. For it lasts long for 6 days. And the second is Shoshu, which is celebrated in March on the pre-sowing ritual, which is the pre-sowing ritual festival. And the last is the Huna Pungbi, which is a festival for children, an August festival specifically for the children. So this will be important to get noted. And they are people, the Sangtam community people are majorly known for their woodworks and their artifacts related or arts related to wood. So this craft and attire made out by these people will be unique in nature. They are known for song shield. So this is also an important fact. They are known for their song shield, hand woven shawls, mufflers and wooden crafts. Will be displayed at their cultural events. And here we can see the people of the Sanctum community has been participating or been in a celebration, which is being displayed to the tourists over the Nagaland region. And this earlier festival is known as Mong Mong. And here we are about to see about the pangolin species and about its conservation. So about the pangolins, they are often called as walking pine cone because of the physical structure it has. It has the outer layer which is similar to the pine cone, which is an vegetation. So this walking pine cone, it is the world's only scaly mammal. It is also to be noted, it is the only scaly mammal species which having scales upon its outer layer and the most trafficked mammal globally. And what are the key features of this pangolin? They have keratin armors. So the outer layer or the layers or the scales are made up of keratin material. like the same material which we have in hair and nails. So this keratin armor, which is overlapping in nature, this overlapping scales forms the armor. About 20% of the body weight will be this keratin armor and made out of keratin and having a specific defense mechanism, which is an UPSC previous year question. UPSC previous year question on 2021 regarding this defense mechanism. Which of the following animals have the specific defensing mechanism which has been made out to a ball-like structure? They have asked about the marmots, which is a rodent species which can be eliminated easily. But the two other species having this defense mechanism, what are the species? The one is pangolin and the other is hedgehog. So we can we have discussed about the hedgehog species in an earlier video, but now it is pangolin. It also has the defensive mechanism which rolls into a tight ball and also releases foul smelling fluid as a defense from the preying species. And it diets, specifically it eats ant and termites, which is up to 70 million of the species annually, which is making it an important pest controller. And about its biology, it is toothless. It is not having any tooth and uses only muscular gizzard-like stomach, as we can see in majority of the birds. Gizzard, which is a strong lining, have been present around the stomach layer, which supports the digestion easily for this species. So this gizzard-like stomach with stones for easy digestion to grind the food, and its sticky tongue, which is also an important feature associated with this species, can exceed the body length. As like anteaters, it can easily extend its length tongue to longer stretches. And around 8 species of pangolins has been prevailing. 4 in Asia, such as Chinese, Sunda, Philippines, and Indian, and 4 in Africa, that is ground pangolins, giant pangolin, white-bellied, and black-bellied. Mostly, this species has been categorized between vulnerable to critically endangered species, according to IUCN. And there is a possible 9th species known as cryptic Asian pangolins or Manis mysteria, according to 2023 study. And according to its production status, it is listed under the Science Appendix 1 since 2016, which is specifically focusing on the banning of international trade with related to this species. And what are the major threats? The ongoing illegal poaching because of the traditional medicines and the values that behind the keratin armor, which is a major threat to this species for meat and scales, and poor survival in the captivity, as they cannot survive in the captivity because of lot of stress over the species, and it needs specialized care as they preys upon the ants and mites, which is not available within the captivity, which will also lead to stress over the species. And pangolin species across the globe. Here we can see the giant pangolins of Africa, which is categorized as endangered species according to IUCN, and white-bellied species also endangered. Indian pangolins, which is important to get noted, Indian pangolins are listed as endangered according to the IUCN Red Data list. And within the India, it is having the highest production, that is Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. And this Chinese pangolin is categorized as critically endangered. And Philippine species, Philippine pangolins also been categorized as critically endangered. And Sunda pangolins are also critically endangered. But this Temminix, it is a smaller type of pangolins which has been categorized as vulnerable. 2 pangolins are having the status of vulnerable, that is black-bellied and Temminix. And 2 pangolins has been categorized as 3 pangolins has been categorized as critically endangered, that is Chinese, Philippines and Sunda, and other 3 are endangered. So moving to the question with reference to pangolin, consider the following statement. First statement, it is the only mammal covered with keratin scales. Second, the pangolins are herbivorous animals primarily feeding on forest vegetation. Third, they are found naturally in both Asia and Africa. Which of the statements given above are correct? As we can see, the first statement was correct, even though it is having a deceptive or the extreme statements like only mammal, because it is the only mammal which is being covered with the keratin scales or scaly armor. And the second statement was incorrect because it is not a herbivorous, as it majorly preys upon the insects. It is not being categorized as an herbivorous animal. So the second statement was incorrect, and the third statement was correct because it is found naturally in both Asia and Africa. So the answer will be 2 only, option B. Let's check. Yes. With this, we move to the next topic. What is a substantive motion under which BJP MP is seeking Rahul Gandhi's disqualification? This news article is taken from The Hindu, and with this article, we are going to know the information about substantive motion and additionally the privilege motion in detail. And before getting to know about the substantive motion and privilege motion, we have to note what is a motion in parliament. It is a tool that no discussion on a matter of general public importance can take place except on a motion that made with the consent of the presiding officer. And simply, motion is a formal proposal made by the member of the parliament requesting the house to take action such as either to take a decision or express an opinion or order an action or seeking an order for the action, and also to discuss on the specific issues. So this motion can be moved or introduced either by the member of the parliament or by a private member. And in simple terms, a motion is how parliament formally decide things. So what is substantive motion? A substantive motion is an independent, self-contained proposal moved by the member of parliament for the house to take a definitive decision on a specific matter. Usually the substantive motion will focus us more over the matters of very important, which is focus on the very important general public issues, like the removal of chief information commissioner as well as the impeachment of the president. And what is the key feature of the substantive motion? It is independent in nature as it is not attached to any other motion, and it is clearly worded and specific in nature, to the point, and seeks a direct decision of the house either to accept or to avoid, and it may lead to the debate and voting. So there may be possibility after the acceptance of this motion, it will lead to the debate and voting. What is it used for? The substantive motion is used in the following manners. So the substantive motion are generally used for discussing the conduct of person in high office. As I said earlier, the conduct of the person in high office can be discussed, which is a matter of very public importance, like the removal of the chief election commissioner and impeachment of president. And major policy declarations also being discussed under the substantive motions, and constitutional and procedural decisions, which is also subject to very importance, and appointment or removal of removal related matters as it has the corollary and interrelated one, and motions of thanks to the president address is also being discussed under substantive motion. So the procedure of introduction as well as the procedure followed for the substantive motions are as follows. First, the notice of the moving upon the substantive motion will be given to the given by an MP, and the speaker or the chairman who presides the house decides upon the admissibility of the motion, and debate has been conducted. If it is accepted, the debate will be done under the motion in the House, and voting will be also being done if there is a possibility for the majority to get accept this motion, and if passed, it becomes the decision of the House. What are the examples behind the substantive motion? Motion of thanks on the president address. It is very important. There is a provision related to the thanks on the president address. Please note that. And motion for the removal of speaker or deputy speaker. It has also been frequently seen in news recently. So it is also very important. And it also has the focus examples such as impeachment related motions. It has also been discussed earlier, and censure type decision. And moving to the next is the privilege motion. What is this privilege motion? It is moved when the member believes that a breach of parliamentary privilege has occurred by the member. So it will be making the minister censure against the minister, censuring the minister. And what are the parliamentary privileges which has been kept with the members of the parliament? It protects the freedom of speech in the House and immunity from legal actions for the statements that has been made out by the minister inside the parliament, and authority and dignity of the House. So these are all the parliamentary privileges that has been made with the members of the parliament when they are being a part of the parliament. And when this privilege is being breached, or a sense of feeling that a particular member has breached the privilege, a motion has been passed against them, which is known as the privilege motion. So when it is used, a minister gives the misleading information, or he may kept the information about a case as secret, or they may not purposefully reveal, not the he may not, or he or she may not reveal the statement in the parliament purposefully. An MP's privilege or violated, when an MP's privilege got violated and the dignity of the House is attacked directly, the privilege motion will be initiated. And what will be the possible outcomes? The speaker decides the admissibility. As like the substantive motion, the privilege motion also has will be subject to the admissibility of the speaker or the presiding of the who presides House, and may be referred to the privileges committee. So upon the consideration, it can be moved to the privilege committee for further scrutinizing, and can lead to the reprimand or taking other actions. Moving to the question with reference to the substantive motion in Indian Parliament, consider the following statement. First statement: a substantive motion is an independent proposal seeking a decision of the House. Second, discussions regarding the conduct of a person in high office must be initiated through an appropriate substantive motion. Third statement: a substantive motion, once admitted, must compulsorily put to vote. Which of the statements given above are correct? So in this question, the third statement will be incorrect, because it is not compulsorily put to vote when there is an introduction of substantive motion, when once it is admitted. So we can eliminate the third statement from the option, and we have left with the answer. Option A will be the answer, 1 and 2. Yes, and it's time to move to the next topic. The labor codes redefine wages, empower the worker. This news article is taken from The Hindu, and with this article we are having insight over how this new labor code will help the workers as well as empowering them in detail. So about the new labor code, the India's new labor code aims to expand the financial inclusion as well as the social security for the workers, which will not be a mere regulation, which will act as a financial inclusion one, also the financial security as well as social security provision of this new labor code. And it also presents the reforms such as it identifies the pro-worker and focused on the income security part, and also designed to redistribute the economic values in an equitable manner. And what are the four labor codes? After the consolidation of various fragmented Union 29 labor codes, it has categorized four new labor codes, such as Code on Wages, which is the first, which is established in 2019, Code on Wages 2019. And this Code on Wages consolidated or merges four laws into it to standardize the wage definition and also ensures the minimum wages, and also regulates the payment and bonus across all sectors, which will be important. It focuses on all sectors, irrespective of a particular sector. It focuses on all sectors but for the definition of wage, and also the minimum ensuring minimum wages, and also regulate payment and bonus. And the second code is the Industrial Relations Code of 2020, which combines three laws, labor laws in the earlier era. It combines three laws and introduces fixed term for employment and streamlines the rules for strikes, layoffs, retrenchment, and trade unions. So it focuses more over the consolidation of labor unions as well as the working mechanism of the unions. And the third is the Code on Social Security 2020, which consolidates 9 labor laws. Also focuses on EPF, ESI, gratuity, maternity benefits, etc. And it also extends the social security also to the mid workers or the gig economy workers and platform workers and unorganized workers. So earlier they were not covered, but under the consolidated provision, they are also being covered, or they are also under the purview of this Code on Social Security, which is a holistic approach. And the OASH code, which is related to occupational safety, health, and working condition, Code of 2020, which merges 13 laws to regulate the workplace safety, health, and working conditions. So this focuses over the space where the workers work, and also including the protection from migrant workers and women. And what is the redefinition of wages that has been arrived using the consolidation of various labor laws across the nation? So the earlier system follows the companies might kept the basic pay very low, which is around 30 to 35 percentage, paid large allowance to reduce the PF and gratuity liability. So if the amount of the employer that they get through earning will be much, the employer might have to pay the large amount as a PF or gratuity liability. By lowering the income to the basic pay of the worker, they might get the reduction from the PF or gratuity liability. And under the labor codes, wages must be at least 50 percentage. Under the new labor code, the wages must be at least 50 percentage of total remuneration. So this will be the basic pay of the workers, and this increases the provident fund, which will eventually lead to the rise of the provident fund for the workers that may get after work, and pension contributions and gratuity benefits. And what is the gratuity for the fixed term employers that has been arrived so far? So earlier fixed term workers often left without the gratuity benefits, but now they are eligible for gratuity after the completion of 1 year of service. So earlier they might be removed or eliminated because of some reasons, but this time, or the newly enacted code will ensure they also will get the gratuity benefits when they complete 1 year of service. And what is the significance behind that? It recognizes the modern contract based employment. So it also been an inclusive one for the contractual employees who is being a part of an employee or the institution as for some time. And it also converts the short-term employment into asset creation and enhances the income security of the particular worker. So inclusion of gig and unorganized workers is also one of the prominent reform that has been made out using the new labor code. So earlier they were unnoticed or they may not be a part of the labor code, but now they are included. The formal recognition of gig and platform workers will give access to the insurance. They might have the benefits of insurance, and they will be provided with the provident fund mechanism. They may be aware of the provident funds and other welfare schemes. They might get the welfare schemes such as industrial safety, or they might be getting the benefits due to accidents. And portability of benefits across states. They also ensure they can work anywhere across the state, which means the portability. And this integrates informal and migrant workers into formal system. So earlier the informal workers might be eliminated, or they may not come under the purview of the labor code, but now they also has been included, and they also has been covered under this new labor code. And code on wages will provide the income protection. How it ensures the universal wage definition. They have arrived at the universal wage definition and minimum wages across various sectors, as it focuses on all the sectors without any exclusion, and limits on arbitrary deductions. So they also the workers' power or the workers' voices will be raised when they have the arbitrary deduction that may be deducted upon their salary or their yield. And timely payment of wages will be possible only when they are under the correct laws or correct code. And this stabilizes the income and improves the economic participation as well as their welfare. And macroeconomic perspective, or the macroeconomic impact of the new labor codes, or it increases the worker income, which will eventually lead to the increase of consumption. So the consumption might be increasing. So the domestic production and consumption is in a circular motion. So it elevates and promotes the circular economy within the environment. And worker income circulates domestically. So the income might get circulated within the Indian territory, which will be viable one for the economy, and promotes the demand-led growth and reduces the vulnerability to the economic shocks. And also labor codes promote the inclusive growth and welfare of the workers. So this promotes the welfare as well as the empowerment of the workers. Moving to the mains practice question, the consolidation of 29 central labor laws into 4 labor codes marks a significant reform in India's labor governance framework. Critically examine how the 4 labor codes seek to balance ease of doing business with worker welfare and social security. And this is a 15-mark question. We need to answer within 250 words. So please take this question and post your answers in the comment section. We will evaluate and give the feedback in the comment section itself. With this, we move to the Prelims Focus. And the first topic for today's Prelims Focus is about Vidarbha, which is considered as India's mineral hub and also supports the steel ambition of India. How? Because Vidarbha, a region in Maharashtra, has the mineral resource of around 75% over that region. And it also has one of the world's finest quality of iron ores. And it specifically to the regions of Gadrichali, it has 65 grade iron ore, which is considered to be the world's finest quality of iron ore. And the second highest quality of iron ore also present in the Jamshedpur region of the Vidarbha, where we can find 55 grade of iron ore. And it also has the additional resource of coal, which supports the energy need of the region, and it also supports the Western Coalfields Limited, which having its headquarters over that region. And this Vidarbha region is situated on the eastern parts of the Maharashtra or the Nagpur division of Maharashtra, and it also having the border with the states such as Chhattisgarh and Telangana, which is having the highest concentration of minerals. So that only it will be named as the mineral hub of the Maharashtra or mineral hub of India. And next topic is about the National Bamboo Mission of 2025, and it is a centrally sponsored scheme. Which is the nodal ministry? It is Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And the primary objective of this mission is to expand the bamboo cultivation and strengthening the industry, which having the close linkage with the bamboo products, and also reduce the import dependence of bamboos and its products. And it also focuses on the cultivation and conservation. By cultivation, we can easily conserve the bamboo. So regarding the cultivation focus, it promotes bamboo plantations on non-farmlands or non-forest lands. And also it supports the cultivation in farms, homesteads, community lands and canal borders. And it also promotes the export of the bamboo products and bamboo varieties by making bamboo products like textiles, jewelries and mirrors, which is also to be considered with the minor forest produce of this bamboos. And also it has been exported to the countries such as USA, Denmark and Nigeria. So it will be an important fact to get noted. And regarding the global rank of this bamboo production, India is among the top 3 bamboo exporters worldwide. Apart from China and Vietnam, it is the 3rd largest country to export bamboo as well as bamboo products, generating millions in revenue. So the next topic is about avian flu, which has been seen recently in news. Specifically, it affects the Chennai region of Tamil Nadu. So why it is in news? A bat flu H5N1 virus has outbreak in the Tamil Nadu, specifically the Chennai region, and it also being a concern for Andhra Pradesh. Why? Because particularly due to the movement of migratory birds. Because Andhra Pradesh has a Pulicat lake, which caters the need of the migratory birds in large numbers. So this migratory birds is the primary reason for the concern of the spread of avian flu over the Andhra Pradesh region. So what is the reason? Over 10 lakh migratory birds visit the Pulicat lake, which is also an important topic on wetland to get noted. And this Pulicat lake is a wetland in which the migratory birds will stay for a short term on its migration. And this species like crows, egrets, pelicans and herons move across the states, which can be the carriers of this virus, which will eventually spread to the migratory birds easily. So it is the concern which move across the states, potentially spreading the virus. So we can see the outbreak, and also it will lead to a global pandemic. So how? Because it will be considered as the next pandemic. Usually this H5N1 virus will not be transferred or transmitted to humans. It will not affect human in common, but in certain cases it may be affecting the humans. So this H5N1 virus, known as the avian flu virus, does not usually infect humans, but the new mutated form or the new mutated version of this virus could represent a realistic risk of flu pandemic, which can eventually spread to the flu in humans. So how it usually transmits? It usually affects the shorebirds, which will be considered as the natural carriers of this avian flu virus, and it will get transferred to the waterfowl species, water-based species of birds, such as ducks, dove, and other bird species, and it will infect by sharing the water resource in common, and it will get eventually transmitted to the domesticated birds such as broilers and other native breeds. And these domestic birds will be considered as the intermediate host and will get easily infected of this virus through nasal or fecal material, which has the contact with other domestic animal, favors the spread of the virus or the disease. And the mutated version will lead to the human infection, rarely infected by the unaltered strains of the avian flu virus. Experts think that this mutated virus could spread from human to human, as there is another probability of the spread that it can be spread from human to human. Usually it will not get transmitted from birds to human, but the mutated version has the probability of transferring from bird to human and human to human. And this will be led to the global pandemic. And usually the mammals such as the pigs or porks will be considered as the transmitters of this virus. Intermediate host, hogs can be infected by human flu, which increases the risk of mutated human compatible virus. And with respect to this virus, there is a status and data. What is that? Number of deaths in the USA will be considered according to the Spanish flu in the year of 1918. The number of deaths reported was 5 lakhs. And Asian flu, the number was 70,000, and Hong Kong flu, it was 34,000. So it is being to get noted that the Spanish flu is the most dangerous flu of its type, and it is known as H5N1 strain, which is commonly known as Spanish flu or the Spanish influenza, which killed more than 50 million people worldwide. And moving to the question with reference to National Bamboo Mission, consider the following statements. First statement, it is a centrally sponsored scheme implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Second statement, bamboo products from India are exported to countries such as United States, Denmark and Nigeria. Third statement, India is among the top 3 bamboo exporters globally along with China and Vietnam. Which of the statements given above are correct? So in this question they have asked about the correct statement, and all the statements given in this question are correct, as we can easily infer from the earlier discussion. So the answer might be option D. Let's check. Yes, with this we came to the conclusion of this episode. Hope you guys like the video. Please share your positive comments and suggestions in the comment section given below. Share the video to your friends and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and bell icon for receiving on-time notification. Thank you for watching us. Have a wonderful day.